Finally, the day is here. Not really today, but tomorrow, 5th of June. And this is a special day for me because the Gothic Remake is about to be released. And I'm super excited. Cautious, but excited. This game is going way back with me. It was one of my first RPGs that I ever played and fell in love with. The whole thing was just, at that time when I was young and I played with my friend on one PC, we were just astonished by all the things you could do. The story, the setting, and everything that was about the Gothic. We were just absolutely crazy about it. You know, I read stories, we waited for the sequel, right, for the Gothic 2. We're just so into this world and into this game. Fast forward 20 years or something like that, we have a remake. Hopefully, it will be a good one. I would like to say, I don't expect to nail it that my nostalgia will be like absolutely satisfied or it just meet all the marks and everything, because there will be changes, and one of those will be the different combat system, different graphics, there will be added locations, added like a changing things are all around. So it will not be that core thing, but it will be something that I will be like reminiscing, you know, that will be familiar. Some of the characters will be familiar, and I hope it will be good enough for everybody and also for me, that at the end of that whole story and all of that experience, I will say to myself and to the whole world, yeah, you know what, I would love to see the Gothic 2 remake. And that's the benchmark that I have for this game. It don't have to be perfect, but it have to meet that criteria that I will be like, hey, this is good enough remake for me to say, hey, go for the second one, you know? So there where we stand. So the 5th of June, it will be released 7 p.m. CET. I will be streaming the whole game. I will be streaming on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we will go for it and then try it. I'm excited about one thing that a lot of people were disappointed in the demo, and I have to share with you because I know it's the combat system. There were some people that have not played Gothic when it was released, like a Gothic 1. What was super cool is, even in the demo it's seen, when you pick up the first sword that you will find out, you are holding the one-hand sword, you are holding it with two hands, and you are just swinging around like a crazy man, and you don't have any technique or whatever it is. And when you read first person, he will tell you, how do you hold the sword? You hold it in one hand, and from that point you are holding in one hand, and that's going through the whole game. When you're using the weapons and you are learning the weapon because you are meeting those teachers that will teach you, right? When you spend the skill points on it, you will just get better with the weapon. You will start doing tricks. It's just progressively getting better. Not just bigger numbers. You see the improvements in your character, how he's handling the weapon, and that's the same with the bow and everything like that. And that was so cool at that time, and even now I don't feel that there is any RPG that is doing the same thing, and I feel that's so cool because you can relate when you will be thrown into the universe or into the location or somewhere, and you will have to pick up skill that you have never acquired before. For example, holding the sword, you will be miserable. You know, there will be no knowledge of it. If it like, hey, cast a spell, like, hey, I never cast a spell. You are not expected to be like a proficient in it. So the learning curve, when you can see it through your eyes, is just something that I really like. I feel it was just prominent, right? Also, for example, the scheduling. Like, I remember when I played the game and we went to the different house because you wanted to sleep in the bed for free. So the people would just wake you up in the middle of the night. They were like, hey, what are you doing here? And if you will not leave, they will start attacking you, and they will call the guards. And that's just, you know, even in some games they are new, you know, AAA or whatever, they are not doing these kind of things. It's just a shame because you want to feel the immersion from the game right from the get-go. And here, I feel if they will nail the setting, if they will feel the mood, I think it's glorious. The first one is just so good that, for example, the moment that everybody kind of waiting for is just so not nostalgic but so Gothic was that when you thrown out into the game and the first thing you will spawn, I don't want to spoil it how it goes, right, because we will experience it tomorrow, but you will meet the first character and he's like, hey, my name is Diego. You're like, okay, nice to meet you. My name is, and he's, I don't care what your name is. Nobody cares. And that's the first time and last time that anybody will ask you or you will mention your name. So from that point onward, you are the nameless hero, which is incredible because you can feel that you can be that name, you know? When I was young, I was like, hey, that's me. That's my character because he don't have the name. I can be the name. And all those small details is just so nice. And also what I want to share or have that perspective on, when I was growing up and I was playing Gothic, at that time there was also Elder Scrolls Morrowind. It was around same timeline. What I really like on Gothic, and maybe people will not prove what I have to say, is that the game was super small. When you compare those two worlds, Morrowind was a huge world. There was nothing to do in. And Gothic was small but condensed. There was always some POI, something to look at. You were just going few steps and you saw something cool or you want to explore. But for example, on the opposite side, when you have, for example, Oblivion, right? My experience when Oblivion when I was young was like that immersion at the first that you are in the cell and it's crazy king and everything. And they just pop you out from the sewers and now you are in the wood and you go and you mean nothing. You're in the wood, right? That makes sense. But on the opposite side, you're like, yeah, but there is nothing in it. So I would rather have worlds that are like a compressed, smaller ones, but full of things than just, you know, barren worlds there is nothing on it. That's another thing that I really enjoy on Gothic. Even though story-wise, it makes sense why the world or the whole thing was so little. Just everything around it made sense. And it's just, I feel it's so cool when the game translates into your real world that you understand why things are happening. For example, roguelikes, right? When you have a roguelike mechanics, when dying is part of the process, I just like when the roguelike element is explained, why you dying and why you resurrecting. In some games, they just don't care. You will just resurrect, you are going again, and gameplay is the only thing that matters. I agree, if gameplay sucks, doesn't matter what else is there. This is just, gameplay is the king. But if you will just go around and be like, yeah, why? Why is that happening? For example, Hades, you have that. It's explained why, because you are immortal, you can't die, you will die and just resurrect in that puddle, blood pool, and like, yeah, okay, I'm back. And it's just composed into the story. As it in this one, I like how the small world is translated through the storyline and everything like that. A lot of things making sense in the Gothic, and I hope that the devs that were cooking on this were aware, and I think they were. I trusting, or I hope they just took the best parts of the Gothic and they just add things that they felt like that it could expand the game, because there was a lot of things wrong with the game. There was a bugs, there was a everything, like there was so much bad with the Gothic 1. If you will go back, there is a lot of jink, you know, that can be solved and can be improved and the game would be better. The line is so thin because when you shoveling away the junk, you can shovel the Gothic as well. You want to repair or add things on all the sides, but there is a point on that slope where you remove what it was, and it's now a new game. It's not Gothic anymore. It's RPG, it's cool looking, right? It's from the world, but it's not the thing. So I hope the devs just kind of nailed it on this sale and they will be like, okay, I will feel I'm back in Gothic when I was young or so. So as I was saying in the beginning, I'm saying at the end, I hope that this game will meet the bar that I will say, and everybody on the internet will like, I would love to see the Gothic 2, because that would be insanely good. And maybe after that, you know, Gothic 3, because there is a lot of things to improve, certainly. Alright, so that will do it for me. Tomorrow, so 5th of June, 7 p.m. CET, I will be streaming game. Join me or stop by, say hi. I will be going through it and we will have just good time, hopefully. So yeah, enjoy your rest of the day. Have a great one and I will see you around. Bye.